Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Ninth Legion, and today, May the 4th be with you, because it is obviously May the 4th, Star Wars Day, as it is, otherwise called by nerdy people like myself. So I thought today I'd kick off a brand new series. We're going to start playing Star Wars Empire at War, but not the original version. The original version came out in 2006, developed by Petroglyph Games, published by LucasArts, very good for the time, but has aged quite a lot since, in the past 11 years. However, there is a rather fantastic mod, Thrawn's Revenge, the Imperial Civil War, that has done a lot to revitalise the game. The modding community for this game has been fantastic over the years. And obviously, Thrawn's Revenge is great. If you don't know who Thrawn is, then you need to go read some Star Wars books, watch the new Star Wars Rebels series. You'll soon figure out who he is. But yeah, we're going to go play this. So this is the 2.2 version demo, which has the best features currently, but is a bit limited in some of the factions we can play. We're going to start a new single-player Galactic Conquest campaign. Now, we can only play... These are all the factions that are in the game. The New Republic, Imperial Remnant, etc., etc. Unfortunately, only the New Republic, Zinj's Empire, and the Greater Maldrude are currently playable. And for reasons, we're going to play as Zinj's Empire. So, we're going to go straight into it. You can see this is the kind of map we'll be playing on. And hit start game. So yeah, Empire War was great. I picked this up pretty soon after it came out, and there was, at the time, kind of like a lack of space-based Star Wars RTS games, and this filled a gap I didn't even know I had in my life. It was amazing. It was exactly what I needed, and I wish they had made another. If there was a sequel of this, it would be amazing. A version of this game made with modern graphics and engines would be amazing, quite honestly. Right, let's immediately pause all the things. This is just basically telling us what our objectives are. Get rid of the Imperial Remnant, get rid of the New Republic, get rid of the Greater Maldrude. That's fine. We're not going to worry about that so much, because we're basically here to conquer the entire galaxy. So, we will pause the game quickly. As you can see, we control this half, quarter, third of the galaxy up here. We have a number of star systems under our control. We also have a large amount of space forces under our control. In fact, we have multiple fleets of Star Destroyers, Corellian Corvettes, Nebulon Bs, Victory-class Star Destroyers. We've got the works. It's pretty impressive how much firepower we can actually bring to bear. Unfortunately, we are surrounded by enemies. We have the New Republic over here, and their territory kind of expands down towards this area. We have right here Centaurs. Who are you controlled by? I believe that is the Imperial Remnant, possibly. And then over here, just more bad people. More bad people who are not part of my empire and need to be crushed by superior firepower. Now, I like playing as Zinj's Empire because he has access to a lot of Imperial-style ships, and that's just pretty goddamn cool. But right now, we've got 12,000 in the bank, we've got a large amount of fleets, we've got a large amount of troops. We need to gather our forces. In particular, we need to defend kind of like these frontline areas here and make sure we can defend against any incoming attacks and also defeat any, actually take over territory ourselves. Taking Mon Calamari would be rather awesome. So let's unpause the game. We're going to start moving our fleets around. We need to gather our forces as soon as we can. So basically all these Star Destroyers could do with heading over here. That'd be lovely, thank you very much. We really actually need more forces over here. That's not my planet. Oh god, these are my planets. Well, let's take a look at combat, shall we? So, we've just moved a Corellian Corvette into Columex. I didn't notice that was on my world, but okay. We might have to retreat from this rather rapidly, but let's jump in. Columex, a Relfi trade world. Interesting. Okay, we've got two Corellian Corvettes. They've got a Gladiator class, which is very good against this ship. But let's take a look what else is here. So, we're going to move our ships around a bit. If we wait long enough, this sensor map will reveal itself down here. So we'll be able to see what forces they actually have here. We can see directly here they do have a space station. That's both a defensive structure.
We've located the enemy.
There we go. That's a defensive structure, but it also builds ships on the strategy map. So if we destroy that, it would save us a lot of trouble. What else we got? Two Gladiator-class Star Destroyers. Very small escorts, but very good against Corellian Corvettes. So we're not going to fight that. We are, in fact, going to retreat immediately.
Calculating jump to light speed.
Luckily, we'll be able to get out before anything becomes too dangerous to us. Corellian corvettes are very good escorts against fighters. They will eat fighters for breakfast. There we go. Escaped easily. That was a mistake on my part. I didn't realise what forces they had there. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, you guys are now heading into that as well. We will... Ooh, I mean, one victory... I kind of think we might actually have a chance there. The problem is they're going to have so many fighters from that starbase, because it will automatically call in reinforcements. Oh! Oh! 2 victory class and 2 Nebulon Bs? You know what? I think we can work with this. I think we can definitely work with this. I'd have preferred it if we had some reinforcements, but this might actually work for us. So our ships are launching fighters. Every ship that has a launch bay has the ability to launch fighters to support you.
Frigate reporting.
Yeah, 2 victory class, 2 Nebulon Bs, and a bunch of fighters. That could work. They've got a lot of fighters, in particular these bombers, skip ray blast boats. Now they would do a lot of damage to us. In fact, fighters are going to be the bigger problem. We can definitely take those 2 gladiators in a fight. It's the bombers I'm worried about. I think we've just started this campaign. Let's not throw away our ships. We will attempt to bail out of this one as well. If we come back here with those Corellian corvettes, though, I would actually think we have a good chance. I've got to pay attention to the map there, I think. Can't be sending all my ships in willy-nilly. Okay, we managed to get out. No losses. That's fine. In fact, our ships have actually met up there. The problem is the name here. You can see my territory is that colour. I didn't notice these ones weren't my territory. We are going to want to correct that very, very quickly. What else have we got? We've got a couple of ships here. That's not a bad fleet. That might be able to hold there for a while. We need to gather our forces, though. So, all of these ships... where are we going to gather our forces? I'm going to gather my forces there.
Moving out.
Send a bunch of ships down that way. Send a bunch of ships here.
On my way.
Because this is actually Zinj himself. He is a character.
Right away.
And that character is going to become very important to us.
We're moving out.
Simply because... Ooh, which way are you going? You're going a very long way around. Okay, that's fine. If we take a look quickly at this fleet, you can see it does contain Grand Admiral Zinj. He is a warlord class. The most particular thing about him, though, is that he is in command of his own Super Star Destroyer. That's right, we have a Executor class Super Star Destroyer under our command. This fleet's also got 7 Corellian corvettes, 3 Imperial 2 class Star Destroyers, a Victory class, and let's see, an Inquisitor, and who's this by? Appoir Triguet. He's a captain. He has an Imperial Star Destroyer, the Implacable. Interesting. Okay, we can definitely make work with that. So, where do we want to launch our first offensive? We've got some pretty strong defences up here. Lots of Star Destroyers there. I can definitely work with that. Lots of support ships as well. We could make an early move on Mon Calamari. That wouldn't be too bad. We're going to need ground troops eventually, but we can gather those up momentarily. We've got Zinj there. We've got a defensive fleet here. I think we might want to move that fleet to Leviathan. Or Levian, sorry. Zinj come down here. Maybe make a move against the transitory mists? I'm not sure. This fleet is going to stick there for a while. And that fleet is going to get some reinforcements. And then we can move on these worlds, actually. These are unclaimed. So if we can take them over, we will actually gain a lot of resources there. Now, speaking of which, we've got a lot of money in the bank. We actually want to spend some of that. So, turn on some of these. There we go. Now we can see the build slots on planets. So each planet in our empire can build a variety of things for us, ground and space. We're going to need troops, we're going to need mines to produce money for us, or in this case, tax collection agency, sorry. As the Republic, you get mines. As the Imperials, you get a tax collection agency. We can build up to 5 of those on each world, and they will increase the amount of income. You can see... Where's the income? There we go. So this planet produces 130 credits per tick, or per week, I guess. We want to increase that. These are some of our core worlds up here. So I feel pretty safe building a few tax collection agencies on these worlds. They're pretty cheap, and they will help get us more money coming in, which I would like quite a lot.
Building under construction.
So anywhere that feels safe can start working on that for me. We also do want some barracks. We're going to want some light factories. Heavy factories would be nice as well. Let's see. Where do I want to start producing troops from? You can already make troops. Let's get you making some... Let's get some vehicles coming out of there as well. Let's get some heavy factory. Yeah. That would be rather nice. That'll get us some heavy vehicles coming out, and another barracks so you can produce troops as well. Now, space-wise, we can build a lot of ships, but we've got to build spaceports for them. So I think most of the worlds we control right now already have spaceports built. Some of the frontline worlds we might want to start building defensive platforms like this golem structure. Basically, they're just big space stations. We can also upgrade the shipyards, so we get, say, in this case, a heavy frigate shipyard. That not only gives us more build options on the strategic level, it also gives us more reinforcement options when we're actually fighting a battle there. If we're fighting defensively, it will spawn reinforcement troops. The bigger shipyard you've got, the bigger the reinforcements. So, I'm actually going to queue that up right now and give you a golem platform just to get that going. You can only have a level 2 space station there, so that'll be you maxed out, which isn't bad. I'm not too against that. The fleet there is actually very weak. You've only got a dreadnought, a couple of dreadnoughts, and some corvettes. Let's queue up some Nebulon Bs there as well for a little bit of extra firepower. Right, let's see what we can do. I think we want to move Zinj down. We want to get Zinj on the offensive. Levian 2 could build a bunch of mines there. Let's see what we can do. First off, we want to make sure we've got someone in command of this fleet. That's going to be the character or the ship that jumps in first. And I do, in particular, want that fleet to have a corvette jump in first to get me sensor data. Once we've got some sensor data, we'll know what we're facing. So this is a Republic system. Looks like they have got some defensive. Let's begin the battle. So, of our entire fleet heading into Levian 2, we're only going to deploy the corvette first. This is a good way of handling the game because it means we can take a look around, and if there's a lot more there than we expected, we can just retreat, and corvettes are nice and fast. There we go. One single ship has arrived.
Reporting.
Okay, you should be pretty safe. Just to be 100% safe, I'm going to move you up to there while we wait for the sensor data to come in. Speed up the game quickly.
The enemy is approaching.
There we go. What can we see? They have a large amount of fighters. What are we seeing? X-Wings? 3 assault frigates. These are basically enhanced dreadnoughts. Interesting. That's a good amount of firepower, but it's not going to be enough to stop us. As you can see, this space station back here is spawning fighters, but all they've got are X-Wings and Y-Wing bombers. That's nothing I'm too concerned about.
Choose your reinforcements.
So, our options are, we have a Victory-class Star Destroyer, we have 3 Imperial-class Star Destroyers, got a bunch of corvettes, or we can bring in the Super Star Destroyer. That's probably overkill for this situation. The Imperial Star Destroyer is... the Super Star Destroyer is massive. So yeah, let's do that. When I say it's massive, look at the size of this thing, I swear to God. And because we have sensor data for the entire map, we can drop them in right on top of the enemy. Now, we will want to give that some support. So I think a few Carillion corvettes at the back to handle some of those fighters.
Let's go.
Let's give that a go. Holy crap. Right, your shields have already gone. Oh, that's amazing. Our corvettes are opening fire on the fighters. We've got a lot of torpedoes coming in on us, but we should be holding up okay. Taking some shield damage, but nothing to worry about. One of those assault frigates is already down. The second one has been crippled and is about to die. I don't think that third one's going to get out of there either. We will start heading in this direction so we can put fire on the space station. I will gather up all of my corvettes to head in the same direction as well. And then we're going to move over to the cinematic camera. What are we going to look at today? We're looking at an X-Wing. Ooh, TIE fighters. We have deployed ships. We have deployed our fighters from the Super Star Destroyer. The Rebel Alliance is targeting an asteroid. Not sure that's the best use of their time. Ooh, X-Wings and Y-Wings trying to flank us. We've got some bombers. Oh, there we go. Our Super Star Destroyer is engaging something. Probably fighters at this point. Yeah, looks like we're fairly uncontested. Let's bring this to a swift conclusion, shall we? I believe their last ship... Oh, no, they still have a ship. Impressive. I'd like them not to have a ship, please. So, fire everything! Let's zoom in on this poor assault frigate. I mean, assault frigates are not bad ships, but one-on-one, they are never going to take a Super Star Destroyer. It's about 55 times their size. Taking out the engines, taking out the laser batteries. Everything's gone. Ah, they're pretty much finished. Right, focus your firepower on that station there. They've got a lot of fighter squadrons and bomber squadrons around, and they could be very dangerous against this ship. This ship doesn't fare well against mass fighter attacks, which is why we've got all these corvettes, and these corvettes can just wreck all these fighters. Now, these fighters don't actually matter to winning this battle because they're free. They've been generated as reinforcements from the space station. So as soon as this space station dies,
We are victorious.
we are victorious. All those free ships are just gone at the end. They don't appear on the strategic level, they're only there on the tactical level. So their losses, in actuality, were only 3 assault frigates and a light frigate shipyard. We lost nothing, because I brought in a superstar destroyer and wrecked all their faces. And there we go, we have taken control of the orbitals of Leviathan 2, or Levian 2. I keep calling that Leviathan, and I don't mean to. So, let's have a look. Can we see anything on the surface? No, we don't know what they've got on the ground. We are going to have to launch a ground invasion to take that planet, though. However, with Levian 2 under our control, that does mean I can move this fleet now to Gravian and reinforce them. And this will be much faster than sending that fleet round the other way. So let's get that on the way, get reinforcements to the front line. Have you had all your reinforcements? How many ships have we got here? 3 Star Destroyers, 2 Corellian Corvettes, 4 Nebulon Bs. I think we can definitely make a move on some of the worlds over here as well. So, Maridon to start with.
Tactical battle imminent.
They have got a spaceport. Again, this will be a pretty quick battle. Let's jump in, take out this spaceport, and basically move on with our lives. This is not the true prize. This is not what we're really looking for. It's the next world over with those gladiator classes that we're looking to take over. What is Maridon? I've never heard of Maridon. Unnoticed for millennia, Maridon, with its rolling plains and forested meadows, was considered a haven by those who knew of its existence. Once discovered by the Empire following the Clone Wars, the planet's inhabitants become the subject to the interests of mining conglomerates and later Hutt slavery. Well, it sounds like they were being very lazy if they had all these resources at their disposal and weren't using them. Now, I hadn't set a commander with this fleet because I'm a dumbass, so we brought in the entire fleet, which I'm pretty much okay with.
Commander.
They don't really have anything here that can stop us,
We're moving out.
so I'm just going to tell everyone to move over there together. All of our ships heading out in a glorious display of Imperial firepower. That's a pretty good view, you have to admit.
The enemy has been spotted.
Oh, we've got our sensor data. Have they got anything? No, just fighters. In fact, just Imperial fighters, because we are fighting the Remnant forces, I believe. I mean, if they just accepted my authority as the new Emperor, this wouldn't be an issue,
Reporting
but, you know, they're being stubborn about it, so I don't really know what they want me to do.
Full speed.
Now, we're going to be held back by the speed of those Victory-class Star Destroyers. They're not the fastest things in the world, so let's speed up time. And considering the amount of fighters they've got,
Nebulon B,
you know what, we're actually going to break off a
Roger
few ships here.
Ready.
We don't need to wait for all this firepower, we just don't need it. What I really want is those Corellian Corvettes to start opening up on those bombers, so... Oh, there we go. Right, focus on that as your target, please. And let's watch all of these fighters kind of explode. Like I said, Corellian Corvettes, fantastic for killing fighters, and especially TIE fighters, because they don't have shields, are very, very weak to this kind of attack. So as these are destroyed, there we go, you will see new fighter squadrons appear as they are launched from the space station. I believe it has an unlimited amount it can spawn. But unfortunately, against a force this size, they have no hope. There is no chance at all. There we go, the rest of the ships are coming into range. Glorious amounts of Imperial firepower. Focus your fire on that for me, please. Let's get the Nebulon Bs engaging. Yep, their fighters are being destroyed as quickly as they can be launched, and that spaceport is about to go down.
The enemy has been defeated.
Another victory for my Empire. Again, those are all free fighter units, we don't have to worry about them. You can build fighters separately and launch them into battle. They're very good against single big targets, so there are occasions you want to do that. But like I said, I'm not too concerned with this planet. This was not my objective, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a Nebulon B behind, just to control the orbitals of this world, and we're going to move this fleet on to Communex.
Right away.
Tactical battle
There we go,
imminent.
and they've got those 2 gladiator classes there, which I would like to destroy. And then we can siege down this world, launch a ground invasion. Okay, I set the commander there just before we engaged, so you can just sit there actually. I'm not too concerned. Actually, no, we're going to move you in. Honestly, I'm going to need you because of the amount of fighters they've got, now that I think about what I just said. So you can start heading in, which is pretty dangerous because those gladiators are going to be a problem.
Underway.
But I want you to come in there because, again, we have the sensor data. I can see all of this. And we're just going to jump in right on top of these guys. Oh, one of the gladiators is gone. They've only got one left. Huh.
Choose your
Well,
reinforcements.
I'll take one of them as easily as I
Moving
can
out.
take two of them. So you guys jump
Heading
in there.
out.
Give you a bit of fire support from a
Coordinates
Nebulon B. Victory classes aren't designed to be up-front attackers, but this will do for the time being. These are more support ships. They've got long-range missiles. Okay, our fighters should be able to handle these bombers without taking too much damage. You can see they are damaging the shields, but that'll be okay.
Weapons ready.
You guys
Direct
focus
fire
firepower
those
on that
torpedoes.
ship for me. Those shields are not going to last very long, and yeah, taking massive amounts of systems damage. Perfect. Our fighters are taking out those bombers. The Nebulon B is providing a bit of fire support.
Coordinates received.
Beautiful. Okay, that is down. That was
Yes,
very
sir.
quick.
At your command.
Okay,
Navigating
all ships,
to
all
coordinate.
ships,
Frequency
start
open.
moving in on this. There's nothing else here we need to fight. In fact, why even wait? I've got
All
extra
out.
ships. Let's just
Moving
drop
out.
reinforcements directly on top
Moving to destination. We're heading out.
and win.
Underway.
So the rest of the fleet's now arrived. We're just going to take this down very quickly. All the rest of this stuff is free. We don't care about defeating it. We're not taking any
We
damage.
are victorious.
And again, we are victorious. It's almost like we're unstoppable. Okay, no losses. Took out one of their gladiators and another light frigate shipyard. So this is costing them time and money because they had to build those to start with. Now, I think that looks pretty good. Our situation is good. I need to spend some more of this money, preferably building up a few more ships on some of our star bases. What can I actually build? This is Sarono, which I think is our... Is that our capital? No, I'm not sure what our capital is, but this has definitely got a very big shipyard here. So I can build pretty much anything from here. We can build old Clone Wars Acclamator assault ships. I can't build Venators. What can we get? We can build our own gladiators, we can build Imperial class Star Destroyers, Imperial 2 class Star Destroyers, Victory classes, but I think what I want to save up for is one of these Allegiance class battle cruisers. These are massive ships, not as big as Super Star Destroyers, but they're an in-between step between a standard Star Destroyer and a Super Star Destroyer. They have a lot of firepower packed into their hull because they don't carry fighters, so it's just a gunship, just one massive gunship. So I might actually start saving up for one of those because I do like those. And we also need to start gathering our ground forces for a ground assault. But I think I'm going to call this one here. So, as always, may the 4th be with you. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. So do feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you did. And hopefully I'm going to see you later for another one of these. Bye.